Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. It's time for some semi-finals for us today. As always, we'll go through each and every one of them that we've got. Be sure to get your comments in with your predictions. Anything that I'm going for personally will be in that pinned comments if you want to have a look at that. Like the video. If you'd be so kind, get yourself subscribed to the channel. If you're not already, we do continue to grow each and every day at a rather fine pace, I must say. Get yourself involved. We'd love to have you. And now that's out the way, really quickly. First things first, quarterfinals, talk to me. How did we all get on? No dice for me, personally. A bit of a bitter pill to swallow, being on the receiving end of that Casper Ruud result. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? He looked fantastic in the second set, up a double break in the third. Ends up losing the set and the match, 6-3. Essentially got bageled from going up the double break. You just can't write it. You just can't write it. Like I say, a little bit disappointed. I ain't got too much time to dwell on bad performances. You know me. You can say something about it in the comments if you want, and then we'll never talk about it again. But let me know. Did you win? Did you lose? Did you come close? Now that's out the way, we will start off, as we've done all week, over in Mexico, south of the border. Down Mexico way, first of the two, we've got El Shapo. Adam Walton. I'd be going with El Shapo in this one. I've seen enough from him the past two games. I mean, the first one against Nanda was kind of a given. It was kind of a given, to say the least. Nanda looked decent as a dog in his first match, bumped into El Shapo, got absolutely pasted. And then, same could be said for Tristan Skulke to an extent. He looked decent as a dog against Daniel Altmaier, bumped into El Shapo. Thought he looked like he was going to do a bit more damage than what he ended up doing. In the first couple of games, he did get an early break, but I feel like once Shapo sorted his shit out, it was rather easy work for him. 6-3, 6-2, more of the same there. This is more like the El Shapo that we've seen at the start of the year on the hard court. Very hard to beat. I mean, the only person who's going to beat him when he's playing like this, apart from the obvious ones, is pretty much himself, But Adam Walton's been good too. Kind of an easy one. Pacheco Mendes in the first round. Basov already. He's now I could be wrong, but I think Adam Walton may have sent Nishesh Basov already back down to the Challenger Tour for a couple months. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. And then, arguably, had his toughest challenge yet against James Duckworth. James Duckworth looked really good in his last match too, but that ended up going 3 sets. Good shit. I've been really impressed with Adam Walton too. He did drop that first set against James Duckworth as well. Had to come back 6-3, 6-4. Good game, to say the least. Is it going to be enough to get past Denis Shapovalov when he's playing like this? I wouldn't have thought so. They have played each other once before, and you probably remember over at Indian Wells a couple of months ago. And El Shapo just fucking bullied him. 6-3, 6-2. This is when they were both playing, well, the best tennis they've played of the season, at the start of the season anyway, on the hard court. And he beat them then. Prior to this, both of these have done fuck all. Both of them have done nothing prior to this tournament. We've already discussed that. So you're just going to have to go off pretty much what you've seen already. And pretty much what you know. I would like to think El Shapo is going to get this one done. Now, I will say, you probably don't need me to tell you, but if for whatever reason you're desperate for a win today, I don't think this is the match to be dealing with. I really don't. I mean, I hate to say it and I don't want to put it out there, but El Shapo is more than capable of losing a match like this just when you think you've seen enough with him. We've seen it happen time and time again, so you wouldn't be surprised if he was to somehow lose this match to Adam Walton, who, as we've just admitted, has been playing really good too. Been playing solid tennis. Is it enough to stifle El Shapo? I don't think so. I'd like to think not. Would I be going with him? Regardless of what I've just said, possibly. I said it the other day, didn't I? He looks good for at least the final. And who he plays in the final, providing he gets there, will remain to be seen. But I think even a performance more or less the same as what we've seen the past two games would be more than enough to get past Adam Walton. Like I say, He slapped him up a couple months ago on the hard court. I would expect more of the same on this. I'll be going with El Shapo 1.4. We're currently getting him a little bit of cash coming in on Adam Walton. He was currently a 3-1 dog on 365. He's now sitting at 2-1, or just over 2-1 anyway. Pick your poison. You pick your poison. As I said before, I think if you're looking for someone to distill your trust in today, I don't think El Shapo is the guy for you, although I am expecting him to get that one done indeed. And we'll move on to Andrei Rublev, Alexander Kovacevic. I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really looking forward to this one. You're getting Kovacevic as a big dog in this as well, 4.3 to be exact. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, I agree with it 100% if you're looking on taking it, but more so Rublev being 1.2 in this. I don't know. I don't know about that. Straight off the bat, I'm looking at Kovacevic on the points, no doubt. I think it'll be sitting around 3.5 if it's 1.2 to 1.3. Maybe by a game, 4.5, you get that around 1.7, 1.8, I would assume. I think Rublev's been playing good. He's been doing just enough. I thought he was done for. Well, maybe not necessarily. I didn't think he was done for, but there was most definitely times in that match last night against Emilio Nava where I thought if he doesn't sort this out right now, it's going to go sour for him. Dropped that first set as well. Managed to pull it off. I mean, looking at it on paper, I always expected him to win anyway, but maybe the result, looking at the numbers, maybe just doesn't do it justice enough. I did watch that game and he looked vulnerable in parts, like he usually does. And, coming up against Emilio Nava, I'm not taking anything away from him, but to say I expected a little bit more dominance from Rublev on the hard court is probably an understatement. Kovacevic has been so good, once again. Hadi Habib, toughest task for him. Played that Alvarez Valdez. Next game, straight sets. Juan Pablo Fijovic. He gave up a break very early in that too. And then just come back and just fucking pummeled him. 6-3, 6-1. As we've said all week, this is exactly what Kovacevic was doing to start his season over on the hard court. 10-5 on the hard court, 12-3 indoors. And that's where he played Rublev last time, over in Montpellier in France. And he beat him in straight sets. 7-5, 6-4 this year. I'd be expecting him to keep it close. Rublev's been somewhat far from consistent enough for me on the hard court. Just as a whole, pretty much. Kovacevic, 12-3 indoors, 10-5 on the hard court. He's most definitely thriving on these surfaces. 3.5, I don't know, may not be enough. It is Rublev after all. There's definitely one of the best players about in there on the day. But more often than not, and I hate to be this guy, but we've seen it happen, haven't we? Quite a lot this season, more so. When the heat is on and the stakes are high, Rublev ain't necessarily been the one to deliver for you, has he? I know he's a better player than Kovacevic, but I think Kovacevic is in a nice little rhythm at the moment. As a good enough rhythm, good enough rhythm to keep that close, especially within the 4.5, if you can get it at a reasonable price. I think that's the only way I could look. 1.2 for Rublev, no. It was a bit too close for my liking last time out against Nava. I would imagine Kovacevic is probably going to give you a bit more trouble than what Nava would. I'm assuming anyway. That backhand's going to have to be on point though, for both of them, but more so for Kovacevic, because if Rublev just starts peppering it and you haven't got time to set it up, I don't think it'll be a problem. He hasn't struggled with that all tournament, so I don't know why he'd struggle now. But I'm just trying to create scenarios to put myself off. Don't overthink it. I'd probably go with Kovacevic on the points, bite the bullet, see what happens with that. I'd much prefer that than Andrei Rublev at 1.2. Absolutely. So we'll move on over to Sweden. First off, got Ugo Carrabelli and Jesper de Jong. What are the odds? What are the odds of these two being here in semi-finals? These have played each other quite a lot over the years. Head-to-head is 3 apiece between these two. Ugo Carrabelli winning the most recent one last year, but then de Jong beat him last year too. 5 of the 6 being played on the clay. Jesper de Jong winning the only meeting on the hard court. Odds are pretty much split down the middle. You can get either one as a favourite, so you do with that what you will. Who have you been more impressed with? You don't need me to tell you, this easily could go either way. Ugo Carrabelli's been he's kind of flew under the radar a little bit this week. Not completely, but just a little bit. Christian Garin, he looked good against him. Van der Sandschulp, he came in as a dog. Well, he opened as a dog anyway. I don't know what it closed at. But he got that one done in 3. And then he took out Filip Mislic today in straight sets. It makes you rather hesitant to go against him, does it not? He's been playing good, man. He's been playing deceivingly good. We know what he can do on the clay when he's in form anyway. But as we mentioned prior to this tournament, he was rather dump. Same for de Jong as well. Both of them seem to have come back into the stride since they've come back onto the clay. Happy days for them, I would imagine. Jesper de Jong, like we said, easy game, first round, Vic Capriva, straight sets, smoked him. And then the most important one, obviously, against Talon Griekspoor, got that one done in 3. That's one of them matches where you'd say, if you're going to beat Talon Griekspoor like that, you've definitely got more than enough to beat Ugo Carrabelli. Most definitely, like, you're not crazy for assuming that. Over. It's just got to be an over. You'll drive yourself crazy trying to pick a winner on this. I feel like in certain areas they may cancel each other out to some extent. I think de Jong hits the ball a little bit better. I think he's got a little bit more snap to him, a little bit more power to the shot. That could just make the difference on a day like this. I wouldn't be willing to bet on it though. I would lean towards an over. Ugo Carrabelli for a set, considering he's a slight dog. As a parlay piece, either one for a set. Like I say, split down the middle, pay your money, take your choice. It really is just one of them. And then last one in Sweden, we've got Francisco Cerundolo and Luciano Darderi. These have played each other a few times, played each other twice this year, both of them going the way of the Argentine, played each other in Rio. That took 3 sets. Darderi did win a tiebreaker in the first and then lost 6-3, 6-2 in the second and third. And then in Argentina, 6-4, 6-4. A bit more convincing first time out, and Darderi did beat him last year in Houston in 3. They tend to have close games. We all know how lethal Francisco Cerundolo can be on his day, especially on the clay. I think this is a back-to-back semi-finals. Oh no, didn't play here last year, did he? It's another semi-final for Cerundolo, pardon me, over in Sweden. Clearly likes it, clearly fancies himself over here. He looked decent against Navone, could have been a lot trickier than what it ended up being. And then he had a tougher time against Demir Juma. He really did. He bageled him in the first set, dropped the second, and then ended up taking the third. 6-3, good hustle from Demir, I'll give him that. Luciano Darderi though, I mean, straight off the bat, he's what has happened to this price? This opened up around 2-1. Yeah, 3.3. I got this at when it opened before. It's now currently sitting at 2.25. That is a ton of cash coming in on Darderi, and I understand why. He's been flying. He's been absolutely flying all week, considering they have close enough games as it is. I think Darderi is in nice form. He's in a really good rhythm. Collignon, 3 sets in the first round. Elias Ymer, easy work for him. And then Sebastian Baez in the quarterfinals, bageled him in the first and then 6-2 in the second. If that doesn't impress you, then I don't know what will. Like, fantastic. Now, no one exactly writ him off, saying he didn't stand a chance at winning, but fuck me, a bagel in 6-2. It's some going. I'll give him that. Coming in to a match like this against someone like Cerundolo, riding off of the back of a performance like the one you've just had against Sebastian Baez, I would expect Darderi to be more than pumped for this one. More than pumped. I mean, if he gets past Cerundolo, dare we say he just takes the title? I don't want to jump the gun, but you think whoever wins this, you think this is the real final that we've got right now? Whoever wins out of Cerundolo and Darderi, it does seem like whoever takes this one's probably going to take the title, right? I could be wrong, but that's just the way it's shaping up at the moment, it seems. 20-12 on the clay for the Italian, 21-9 for the Argentine. I'm expecting it to be close, like it has been every time they've played. All 3 times coming on the clay as well. Nice little sample size there. I think Luciano Darderi is playing as good. I'm not going to say as good as I've ever seen him, but maybe he is. He's playing solid, man. He's playing, did we say his best tennis? I'd say it's very, very close to it. It can't be far off anyway. Look, while he's a dog at that price, just based on what we've seen, I couldn't talk it off going for the Italian today. I mean, it is a bit dicey. It's a bit dicey going against Cerundolo on the clay. I understand that, especially if he's going to turn up and do what we know he can do. I think Darderi's good fun, you know. I think he's due. I think he's most definitely due. Close enough when he weren't playing as good as this. I feel like in this kind of form, if there's ever a time for him to pull off the upset in this one, it's going to be now. I think Darderi, as the dog, depending on what price you can get him, who knows, closer to the time, this may end up a bit closer than what it even is now. Cerundolo 1.65, Darderi 2.35. It's a massive drop from 3.3, but even still, dog price, dog money. I wouldn't mind a little bit of that, if I'm being honest with you. And then we'll wrap this shit up. Over in Switzerland, we've got the other Cerundolo, and Ignacio Buse. Fucking Casper Ruud today, man. Honest to God, it's made predicting this one a little bit tougher. I'm not gonna lie to you. How did he lose that? Anyone watch it? See him just decide to start fucking moonball and everything playing. He was like trying to return from what was essentially standing in the fucking crowd. It was unbelievable. Honest to God. I ain't seen much like that. I don't think I've ever seen Casper Ruud play that bad before. Don't want to take anything away from Cerundolo, but just go and watch it. More importantly, go and watch that 3rd set, and then let me know your thoughts if you're going to do anything. But it is what it is. Cerundolo was good against Struff, good against David Goffin. Beat Casper Ruud somehow. All in 3 sets as well. You know, it's been anything but easy for the guy. Same goes for Buse though. I mean, the 3 main draw matches that he's played, all of them have took 3 sets as well. Laszlo Djere, Kamil Masharak, and then Borichaga yesterday. And he's had to come through qualifying. Quality. Like, is anyone going to stop this kid? It doesn't look like it, does it? It doesn't look like it. But he is coming into this one as a slight dog. He getting Cerundolo around 1.7, and I can't help but feel like that's got a lot to do with the Casper Ruud results. You know, I don't know how much I can buy into it. It's not even a case of where you go, I needed this result and I got this result. It was really just, I don't know. I'm sort of at a loss for words about it. Like, you really need to watch it if you didn't. Buse for the set, I'd say maybe. I don't know. He's been playing just as good as Cerundolo. Like I say, if whatever happened hadn't have happened, this would have been Casper Ruud. I feel like it should have been Casper Ruud. I'm going to stop going on about it anyway. Maybe just another overspot. Have these played each other before? They have last year on the Challenger, and Cerundolo beat him. He did drop the first set 6-1, come back and beat him 6-3 and 7-5. You know, looking at those records there, 36 and 16 for Cerundolo on the dirt this year, 24 and 12 for the young Peruvian. It's got all the makings to be a good one, hasn't it? It's got all the makings to be a lot better than what I'd expect it to be. Unfortunately, I couldn't split the two. Both of them have been playing good. Both of them have had solid wins as well. Solid wins. I think we've gotten a little bit more out of the Peruvian. He has played 2 more games. I can't see fatigue being a factor. I would certainly fucking hope not at that age anyway. You flip a coin, don't you? Who have you been more impressed with? It's entirely up to you, this one. I think an over 22.5. Either one for the set. Like I say, neither one have won in straight sets in the main draw all week. Every one of them has took 3. Either one of these for a set. Take the dog for a set. It's entirely up to you. I think it most definitely spells an over, if you'd ask me on that. And then we'll finish you up with Cazaux, Alexander Bublik. He done it again. Alexander Bublik, he done it again. Crafty bastard. Yeah. he had everyone think, well, he weren't necessarily him, he just, the thoughts began to creep in overnight, didn't he? Oh, Commissar's been good. The more you read into it, the more you thought, he could do this and he could do that. No, no. He turned up against Shevchenko, and I feel like the bookies were a little bit unsure of what we were dealing with, and he turned up and just bullied Shevchenko. And then coming up against Commissar, same sort of thing. Same sort of thing. We got a really good price once again. Made you a little bit hesitant. What's going on here? Straight sets. Straight sets. And now he comes into this one once again. Currently sitting around 1.5. Nothing against Arctic Cazaux, but what's different in this one than the past two? Is there anything different in this one than the past two? Like I said previously, if we were faced with this matchup at any given time throughout the past couple months, you'd have went, fuck yeah, Bublik, 1.5, give me that. Give me that. You probably done it against Shevchenko, and you were right. And you probably done it against Commissar, and you were right. I don't feel like there's much to say about this one, in regards of a pick. Arctic Cazaux, I'll give it to him. Since that little run in Wimbledon, he seems to have picked up a little bit of steam. He bumped into Alex de Minaur, not too much you can do about that one, I'm afraid. 3-game winning streak over in Switzerland, Basilashvili, Echeverry and Jeremy Kim, all in 3 sets. Now, if you'd look at, statistically, if you look at certain sites will give you, tournament statistics, so you can compare the main ones for how they've done throughout the week. If you find that, it'll probably tell you that Arctic Cazaux is probably just edging it out. If anything, doing a little bit more than Alexander Bublik over the past week. He has played one more game, so maybe it's not as accurate as you'd like to think. But I wouldn't let it put you off whatsoever, because if Alexander Bublik's not been playing as good as Arctic Cazaux and he's just been breezing past these opponents, then there's clearly room to. You're telling me there's room for improvement on Bublik's game at the moment? If so, that's even more of a reason for me to take him, is it not? 1.5. Now, I don't know whether it's just because of the 2 previous matches or not, but I feel like I'm taking this today. I do. I feel like I'm taking it today. Arctic Cazaux, he's been good, but I don't think he's faced anyone quite like Alexander Bublik. Well, he certainly hasn't beat anyone quite like Alexander Bublik. This guy was one of the most lethal players over the past few months. Had a very, very disappointing Wimbledon, and now he seems back to winning ways. I'll admit he doesn't seem to be operating at what could be his best level, but look at what he's doing to people at not his best. I would expect him to do more of the same to Arctic Cazaux, and at 1.5, I feel like you just can't overthink this one. You really can't overthink it. Alexander Bublik or nothing for me. I feel like it's an ideal parlay piece, and I feel like anything under 1.7 is not even worth your time taking as singles. I'll be honest with you. I mean, there's plenty of picks indeed you could pick that's like 1.5. I don't know, you'd have to do the conversions yourself, but I see picks sometimes that are like minus 350. I don't know what that is, minus 300 and minus 200 this, and I'm like, no one takes those as singles, do they? Or do they? I don't know. I know I certainly don't. We've said it a few times, haven't we, when people complain about 1.2. I'll bet on a 1.2 or I'll bet on a 1.3. 1.4, 1.5. It's not enough to take as a single. It would have to be a parlay piece unless you wanted to take Bublik minus the points. You could get it done in straight sets. This could be the one where it becomes a little bit more difficult. I wouldn't have thought so. Arctic Cazaux, you look good against Commissar. I feel like just a repeat of the same would be more than enough today against the Frenchman. And then we'll leave it there. Happy days. Let me know what you're going for. As always, folks, I appreciate you stopping by. It means a lot to me. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, yeah. You take care of yourselves. You take care of one another, most importantly. Like and subscribe too. Like and subscribe before you leave. I'd appreciate that. Right then. I'm not too sure what I'm going for. I'm thinking something like El Shapo and Bublik, maybe. That looks too easy. But maybe that's just the way it's got to be for today. Then again, I thought it looked too easy yesterday. But there you go. What happened. It is what it is. I ain't going to moan about it anymore. Today is a brand new day. I'm liking the looks of El Shapo. Alexander Bublik, something like that. Maybe Darderi as a little punt on a dog. Who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It'll be in the pinned comment if I'm going for anything. Anyway, baseball is back tonight. Anything for that? Get on me, yeah? Don't be shy, share with the group. We all appreciate some winners. But I'll be seeing you, and I'll be saying good night to you folks. Take it easy, yeah? Let's go get that cash today, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Best of luck to you. See you tomorrow.